What's going on, people and fellow musicians? I am back today with a secret called FL Studio. If you're new to the channel, what's up? What took you so long? Seriously, check out some of the old stuff. And if you're returning, welcome back. I've been talking and teasing this one for a minute, and we finally going to get to see what I've been talking about. Fruity Loops Studio 20 to be exact. Ah, man, it's such a beautiful secret. This is what I use to track out everything on Sundays, is what I use to run my recordings, is what I use to mix songs, to produce, to make beats, to master. It's what I use even as a whole keyboard if I don't want to bring, the coffins out. So let's get into some quick things because I cannot get into all the functionality that this has to offer, but we want to, cover some hot spots. So first of all, I want to say, man, shout out to the boys, John Mike, C Dub, multi-tracks and the loops by C Dub, man. They do some awesome things, and I just want to show you that if you're using multi-tracks, if you're using loops by C Dub, and if you're using Ableton or anything like that, there's another option. It's FL Studio, and don't sleep on it. The first thing I want to say is, okay, I'm not endorsed by them or anything, but I got FL Studio a while ago, and since then I was able to get like free updates for life. So I went ahead and got the highest version because everything that I do, and I don't have to pay a fee to update. I don't have to pay extra for the plugins that it comes with or anything like that. Like, it's just been a great experience, sort of a one-time payment for me, and about the cost of less than the keyboard, and it was good. So let's get into it. This is what I run my performance with, so I can show you. This is like a performance, Lord You Are Good, that I did a couple of weeks ago. So let me just press play on it. So that's like the intro, and then I can play along with it too. So it'd be like, all right, and then I'll go to the next part. I wanted to, I made the track. I'm running it off a MIDI, not even running it off audio files. I could do that. And then we'll go to the next part. Now it's running a lot of latency right now. It's running a lot of latency right now because I got on a screen recorder, the whole FL Studio, a loop MIDI, QWERTY, and some other random things in the background. But even now, it's not that bad. When I run it during an actual event or a gig, I run this ASIO driver, so I can go here, go to the audio settings, and I'll run this ASIO driver right here, and it will basically make the whole computer program only focus on FL Studio. So I don't get any sound, any background noise. I just get all FL Studio, and all the CPU only focuses on FL Studio. And my CPU doesn't get like over like 30, maybe 40 at the most if I'm running heavy synth patches and using it for the actual keyboard itself. But it's really a neat thing. So as you can see, the top part is running my click tracks. The second part is running the stem. It's very easy. I can name it. I could name this the actual stem. I can color it any color I want to. You can set an icon for it if you would like. If you don't feel like doing all that, you can do like a random color if you want to. Real simple stuff. So I can do that. The arrangements, I can go into different arrangements with this. Like this is the anthem here. This is like You Are My Strength right here. As you can see here, okay, so I'm controlling it with like this pad. So at church, I have something like this, but like a Novation version. And like the top part would be my clicks, and the second part would be like the stems, and then the bottom part would be like maybe some tempos or effects or vocals. The most bottom part would definitely be tempo. I probably have vocals on the third section, and I can make them do whatever I want them to do. So, for example, I can make it march, which means I can make it go through the whole scene and then stop at the end of the vamp. I can make it just do one at a time, and I'll manually press it. I can have triggers. So, for example, I could have effects like let's pick this. It might be a little loud, but like something like that, right? So I've seen people have effects like that, and then run it. I can have different little trigger effects, like an NPC. Anyway, y'all get it. Here's something else that I sort of did. So I can run this. So this bottom part is my tempo. So that sets my tempo up. Here's a click for it. Then I had like an arc. So like it's like strength, like no other, right? Strength, like no reaches to me. So if I want to, I can have vocals. You are my strength, and it tells you on the screen when the next part is strength, like no other. And I just recorded my praise team to get these vocals, like no other reaches to me. I can trigger the next part in this in the full, right? Anyway, y'all get that. So it's very easy to play with and very easy to play to. The piano sound that I'm using, that's coming straight off of FL Studio itself. Let's see, right here. With this plugin, let me talk about the plugins. FL Studio has buku plugins. So with this plugin right here, this is like the front part of it. You can see all this is samples. I can literally sample any keyboard I want. I can sample the chord, the Chronos, the motif, the Nord. I can sample any of that and run it here. I can have multiple things going on. So like this part is my piano. I got organ up here. Full functionality. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. You can't see that because it's not hooked up to the Cordy, but got a whole organ. Sometimes I run electric guitar as well. Like I said, on the my top keyboard here, I'm still able to use a smaller version of the pad, and then this just shows me what air I'm at. Let's see. I have a mixer, so what I'm able to do is track out like certain sections. What I mean by that is my kick and 808 are both linked to one knob, and then my like hi-hats and shakers are linked to another knob, and then like my snaps, claps, and claps and snares and toms are all hooked on another one, and then like my percussion is on another one, and then I even have uh, right here a section that only the drummer can hear, and only me and the musicians can hear. Put it like that. And that's like 3, 2, 1, and then it's got a metronome in that part, so the house can't hear it, but we can hear that. So that's real cool stuff, right? Um, let's see what else. I don't really want to forget anything important. Uh, but yeah, I mean it's really easy to use. Like I said, I have different arrangements here. If I don't want to do the stem route, if I just want to do clicks, right? Um, so I can just run, right? I can just run a click like this, right? You know, and then we can go to the next song. You know what I'm saying? So real easy to go back and forth between songs. Anyway, and that's latency right now. Like I said, I have the buffer for those of y'all that know what that is, like on like 500 and something, as opposed to like the normal 100 and something that I would have it on, so that I can have live action on it. But it's very very convenient. The plugins, man, let me mention that. So this right here, this is just like the plugin database, and it shows excuse me, all of the actual instruments on the left, and then the effects on the right that you can use, as if each instrument didn't already come with a bunch of effects. Now, like all of these you can use, they're organized, they come with it. When you get the highest version, depending on what version you get the most, they keep coming up with better and better and better and better sounds. Like these are all stock plugins that I'm using. I don't have a need to buy plugins that aren't stock, because FL Studio is on top of their stuff. And then each plugin, like I'll open this one for example. This is Citrus. I mean, look at the sounds on sounds on sounds on sounds on sounds, and then I mean there's folders with more sounds and more sounds and more sounds, and it just, I mean it's like it's endless. For those of you that know about FL Studio, I mean between this, Harmless and Harmer, and I mean I just have a bunch of favorites. I can get into that later. But yeah, you have that. The mixer has a built-in EQ and stereo and panning, so you can um, do a lot of that stuff without eating up CPU. Like I'll just go to this Cabasso, for example. I'm able to mess with the waveform and the different filter settings and different pre-computer effects before I even go into and add VSTs. So for those of you that don't really know the importance of that, that means before I have this computer loading up more things that's going to take up CPU, because everybody's computer isn't powerful, I have so much functionality with what I can already do that most of the time I don't even need to open other VSTs. I can have a whole service run off of, maybe, two VSTs, something like that, right? And, maybe a couple of audio waveforms to just give me some clicking tracks, you know. So I mean, this is it's awesome. It's easy work. It's easy to organize. Last thing I want to say here it is. Uh, the thing about FL Studio that people don't realize is that they have a way of making it so no matter what you're used to, it can pretty much emulate it. So if you're used to being able to control the volume from the mixer, you control the volume from the mixer. If you're used to making the beats from the this channel rack, you can make it from the channel rack. If you're used to doing it like this, you can do it like that. If you're used to doing it like this, or let me get to the piano roll, something like this, you can do it like that. Control all this. You know, it's however you want to do it. It has a mobile app. The mobile app is compatible with the regular app, so you can make certain things on the road and then carry it over, load it into your laptop, and put that into the performance settings, and you know, really, I mean, it's really mind blowing everything that you can do. So, I mean, I hope that you just you know, start checking out FL Studio tutorials and things like that. Stay tuned for some of the things I'm gonna be able to put on my channel soon. And let's see, it was something else. It was something else that I really wanted to mention to you guys. I'll say this. I was able to take. I have this Novation launch key. This is a 49. They have 61s and 88s and all that. And I was able to take this, and you can link the buttons and the sliders to whatever you wanted to do. And I had like 8 different sounds, and I can layer it, and I can layer the sounds like 3 different ways. Like I said, there's a bunch of ways to do what you want to do, and I could layer the sounds just a bunch of different ways, however I wanted to do it. And control the volumes on each, and just run a whole service, and was able to just uh, really manipulate the pads and the strings and the bells and the guitar and the bass guitar and the flutes and the keys and the Rhodes and all that stuff. And it's just real sweet. And then, like I said, FL Studio keeps coming out with just more and more and more VSTs and stock plugins. So once you invest in FL Studio, you don't have to keep investing in FL Studio. You just have to learn it after that. So I hope I taught you guys something, man. I hope you guys really learned something. Don't sleep on it. Even the click tracks I made, the reason why they're simple is because I want to have more functionality on what I'm able to do. I made click tracks that have the bass and everything, and the horn section, the violins, the strings, the percussions, the whole drums, the whole nine, synthesizers, everything, organ, everything. I've put it into it before. So, but these are the ones I use where, okay, if we want to do some reharmonization, you have to be cognizant of what you put in your click track. So I wanted to make my clicks, and this is just a little side theory. I wanted to make my clicks so that if I performed somewhere else and had to play the same song, it don't have to sound the exact same because they're not hiring me to play a CD. So, but anyway, I hope you guys learned something, man, and I'm out. Peace.